Hello and welcome to the Business Networking Channel hosted by the Hispano Chamber of Commerce. My name is Toby Rue and I'm your co-host today. And today we'd like to thank you all for watching our show, the Business Networking Channel. We continue to see a lot of feedback and we want to thank you all for making the Hispano Chamber the chamber of choice here in Las Cruces. The Hispano Chamber continually has many opportunities for the small business entrepreneurs. So I'd like to let you all know that this Business Networking Channel is a great opportunity to get your business out and talk about some of the things you do. If you're a nonprofit, if you're an individual and have some ideas that you'd like to share, come on down and be part of the Business Networking Channel. Now today we are going to have a very special guest that's going to continue to talk to our members and our audience about opportunities and economic development. And we could not be here today if it wasn't for one of our great executive directors, Mr. Gabe Vasquez, who's our Hispano Chamber of Commerce Executive Director. And he's going to talk to us a little bit about what's on tap and what's been going on in the Hispano Chamber. Gabe?
Well, folks, we got some great events lined up for everybody, for chamber members and the general public. On July 15th, we'll be having our new member Bienvenido, which is our quarterly event that we hold for new members. That's going to be at Morrison Supply Company. So all the new Hispano Chamber members, we encourage you to come out to Morrison Supply at 5:30 p.m. July 15th and meet the board and some new members. Before I get to some more upcoming events, I'd like to talk about some recent events. A couple of things that we did last week. On Thursday, we're continuing to do our mobile food drives out in La Mesa. We're always looking for volunteers, so if any members of the public or Hispano Chamber members would like to get involved in helping needy families in some of the southern communities of Doña Ana County, give us a call at 532-9255. We'd be happy to include you on the volunteer roster if you're interested in helping out.
And that food drive is really important. I mean, there's a lot of people that really, their lives can be changed with that, so it's a great opportunity.
Definitely. Thank you, Toby. Saturday, we participated in a health expo organized by Healthy You and the Las Cruces Sun News. We marketed over 24 of our member businesses at the health expo. That was a great event. The highlight, I think, of that evening was the massage therapy that was free of charge, that was offered there free of charge. Fortunately, I didn't get to take advantage, but I know a lot of people, a lot of members of the public did. That was a great event, and we look forward to doing it again next year. On Sunday, the Hispano Chamber volunteers and board members participated in the second installment of Facade Squad downtown. We helped paint 3 buildings down there, and we'll continue supporting downtown revitalization and providing some good old sweat and glory into the revitalization of downtown. We're happy to do that. Another great initiative that we're planning on an annual basis is the Small Business Lending Fair. And we actually have a time frame picked out for that, which is either August 5th or August 8th. And basically what we're planning to do is bring a lot of the financial institutions together, as well as small business support services and organizations such as the Hispano Chamber of Commerce, to really help entrepreneurs and existing business owners really find the capital that they need or find the support services to grow their business. And that's going to be held at the convention center as well. So we're very much excited for those upcoming events. And I look forward to telling you all about some more of our more upcoming events in a couple of our shows that are coming up. So thank you.
Gabe, thank you so much. You know, here at the Hispano Chamber of Commerce, business is on fire and there's a lot of opportunity. And we want to make sure that you have those opportunities at your doorstep. If you did not catch some of those dates and you wanted to come back, just give Gabe a call at the Hispano Chamber of Commerce and we'll take care of you. Now, here at the Business Networking Channel, we always want to show some of our support to our past leaders. And right now, about this time, flying in from Italy or Dallas or somewhere is going to be our illustrious leader, John Munoz, coming back from his vacation. So we hope he gets here fine. Now, our Business Networking Channel has always had some great guests on our show. This is probably at the top of the list. Hailing from back east in Michigan State, and has moved up here to take a vital role in leadership in our community and leadership in what we do here in Las Cruces. We have City Councilor Sharon Thomas, Mayor Pro Tem, And thank you for being on our show, Sharon. Thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting me.
We wanted to have some background on our counselor, and you and I spoke a little bit before about being from back east and having some opportunities, because your son was at New Mexico State University and was in the graduate program. But you're no stranger to academics yourself. So can you give us a little, maybe small bio of what you do and what got you down here?
Well, I taught for 27 years at Michigan State University. I taught in the first year composition program, and I ran the writing center. We were charged with making sure that every major in the university included some kind of writing component. And then my son came down here to go to graduate school, and we kept visiting, and we liked Las Cruces. And then he and his girlfriend they wanted to stay here, and they decided to start a business. So we opened the Red Mountain Cafe in 1998, and we had that for 5 years. My husband and I would teach one semester at the university and then come down and help the kids run the cafe. Our daughter moved here then, and so our whole family ended up here to start a small business.
Well, that's fantastic, though. I mean, those stories are really not uncommon, because Las Cruces is a destination of choice in many people's minds. And Gabe, you're a fan of writing, and you have some strong history in writing, so I bet this is a great time to ask Sharon Thomas a couple of things.
Well,
Dr.
definitely.
Thomas.
Well, in fact, before we got started today, I think you made the notation that Counselor Thomas was making a lot of notes and edits and notations, and I said, yeah, she's an English teacher. I can definitely relate to that. I'm an English major myself at New Mexico State University, so I can certainly appreciate the major, although not as practical as some believe it is, I think, and we proved them wrong, isn't that
Yes,
right?
we did.
Well, Counselor Thomas, you bring a lot of skills and opportunity to Las Cruces, and one of the things that I found very interesting, and please share with us a little bit about that, is your attraction to the revitalization of downtown in Las Cruces, and how that path kind of moved you forward into taking a spot as a city councilor. And then talk about one of the initiatives that we're going to be visiting today on the economic gardening that we'll visit here in just a little bit.
In 2003, we retired here full-time. By that time, our kids were moving on, so we sold the cafe. And after a while, I started working with the downtown revitalization people, and again, because I'm an English professor and written lots and lots of grants, I wrote some grants for the downtown projects. And those involved often going to the city council, working with city staff, and so I knew a little bit about how the city ran and some of the people there. And so then in 2007, some people came to me and asked me if I would run for city council. They were trying to get Ken Miyagashima to run for mayor, and he wanted some assurance that somebody would run for District 6 if he won. So I said I would do that, and he won, and I ran, and that was in 2007. So I finished out his term, which was 2 years, and then I ran again, and now I'm on my 4-year term. I'm on the second year of my 4-year term.
Well, there's no doubt that being in the political spotlight has its ups and downs, and in Las Cruces, I'm sure, is no different than any other community. But we have seen some enormous amount of growth through our time, and we also felt some stinging and some dangerous positioning when the economic drawback came through. And I'm sure in the city there were some heated debates, but for Councilor 6, this District 6, and the other city councilors that are on the table, I'm sure that having strong leadership and background has been very instrumental in continuing for Las Cruces.
Well, and I think we need to give a lot of credit to our staff too. We started putting in cuts 3 years ago, 5%, trying to hold the line. So we now have a very balanced budget. We have more than twice what we're required to keep for a rainy day fund. We haven't had to cut any services. And we also refinanced quite a bit of our debt a few months ago, and so we actually have money now for capital projects. We have about $10 million for the next 3 years. So I would say our city is in very good shape considering what the national picture is.
Well, thank you.
And Councilor Thomas, I know we've met previously and talked a little bit about economic gardening. I think it's really interesting in that the concept behind economic gardening is to grow your economy locally, to help businesses expand and to help local businesses grow. Of course, a lot of cities, a lot of counties, just like our own program that we have here with the Mesilla Valley Economic Development Alliance, they focus on bringing industry from the outside to relocate here to New Mexico. And I believe we were talking about the Local Economic Development Act that helps facilitate some of that business relocation and some of the trade missions that the Movida group goes on. Can you talk to us just a little bit about the basic concept of economic gardening and how it works from the inside rather than the outside?
Yes, it started in Littleton, Colorado in the 1980s, late 80s, and they noticed that their new jobs were coming across the state of Colorado from companies that had 10 or less employees. More than 50% of the new jobs were coming from those small companies, local companies, and then that the larger companies were actually losing jobs. So they developed a program to support their local businesses. And it has, basically they use a lot of GIS, Global Information System mapping capabilities, and they use a lot of databases. They subscribe to a lot of databases, and they actually go out and find local businesses and help them with these tools to do better marketing, find out where to put their businesses, how to locate, all those kinds of things.
I think a lot of folks associate GIS planning with kind of more of the cartographer take than they do necessarily the economic development take, because it's a very useful tool to use when you're mapping transportation systems or, for example, state landmarks or those types of designations. How do they use GIS exactly to facilitate the economic development portion of the program?
There's quite a nice story about that. It turns out my daughter is a GIS mapping person,
Okay.
but she does transportation planning. It's very useful for transportation planning, but the same group from Littleton, Colorado, they now have a consultant group, and they were working with a tractor or a farm supply company in the Midwest, and they thought most of the farms were in Iowa, and that's where they probably ought to locate, but they did a big GIS study, and they went and put a lot of databases into the map, and they looked at where people actually were buying this equipment and using it, and it turned out it wasn't in Kansas at all. It was in Indianapolis, Indiana, and that's where they ended up putting the company, the production. So it's very useful for economic development in a lot of
Ladies and
different
gentlemen,
ways.
we're here with Councilor Sharon Thomas, and we're talking about a concept that's very new to our southern New Mexico. It's called economic gardening. And economic gardening, as you're trying to piece together as we're talking about this, it's a model. It's a model program that has done a lot of infrastructure development and sustainability to local small businesses. And Sharon, will you kind of tell us where this concept fell into your lap? And then how did you get to think to get the word out in Las Cruces?
It fell into my lap actually through EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. A couple years ago, we applied to be a technical assistance, be part of their technical assistance program, and so we've been working on the El Paseo corridor now for a couple of years. And the Economic Protection Agency group that worked with us knew about this program, and so we got in touch with them, and as part of the El Paseo project is economic redevelopment, so we spent some time on the phone with the people in Littleton. They sent us a PowerPoint, they gave us a lot of information, so we were looking at a variety of models, and that was one that we looked at as part of the El Paseo project.
And as we continue to explore this concept, is this something that needs to have a home, or is it something that can come in and be implemented? What type of partnerships are you looking at? Can you fill us in briefly on what you're looking to do if this concept was to come to Las Cruces?
Well, the Littleton, Colorado group has that you can send people there to be trained to do this. You can, they can come and help you set up a pilot program. They're working all over the country. They're working at projects in Florida, Georgia, Indiana, many places across the country. So they have a wide choice of ways you can begin to implement this program. It does require considerable training, and it also requires subscribing to a number of databases.
But the success stories are there.
The success stories are there. In Littleton, Colorado, they tracked this for about 20 years, and they doubled their job creation, and they tripled their tax revenue.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Councilor Sharon Thomas, and for our members out there in our audience, we want to let you know that this is a new model, new to Las Cruces potentially, but not new in our state, and very strong success stories. And we're going to take a break right now, and we're here with my co-host Gabe Vasquez, the Executive Director of the Hispano Chamber, and we're talking with our City Councilor Sharon Thomas from District 6, and we're very interested in the concept of the economic gardening principle, and this model is a very successful model in Littleton, Colorado. And when we come back from the break, we're going to continue with this story, talk about some successes and some of the visions that Sharon Thomas has for that. So from the Business Networking Channel and the Hispano Chamber of Commerce, we'll be right back.